So if we want to have a really honest conversation here, let me do so. Last week we were bombarded with that Pusha track 2 hours in after we had already been here for 3 hours. We wanted to fuck out of here. I didn't have time to process that. Who backs you? Drake probably makes better music than a lot of the field. Agreeable?
Right, very much so.
Drake is Jewish. Mm-hmm. That's important. It's important.
No, it is.
You ain't got to tell me. I'm from uptown.
He makes amazing music. He's Jewish. And here's a caveat. Google J Prince.
I'm scared to even Google J Prince.
Google Baby and Slim. Who backs you is important. It was a difficult lesson for me to learn in this business because for you to be successful in this business, it really is contingent upon how many people have a vested interest in you. Drake's hard to beat. Last week when I listened to that Pusha diss, right? I was taken aback because of my empathetic nature. I don't have a hateful bone in my body toward Drake, 40, or any of the people referenced, Kanye, any of the people referenced in the diss track. So when you hear some of those things that he said, it was quite alarming. But I said last week that Pusha has the advantage of seeing all the ways that people have failed. We saw Drake against bars, which was me. Wasn't too effective. We saw Drake against streets, because that's how I view Meek. Wasn't so effective. We've seen him in a few different places. The only way to get that type of star to respond, I would think, probably is to hit him with shit that he loves and cares about.
Yeah.
Which makes me look at Pusha's angle a bit different. When I combine the beat selection with the surgical summer shit, with the therapeutic breakdown of family, it was pretty tactful until you got to some of the other stuff. But if you're playing by the rule of if you mention my significant other is on, then Push is in bounds. He's not out of bounds.
Yeah.
Drake always brings up the third party in beefs, and it's normally a woman.
I just don't know what's.
He brought Nicki into the Meek shit.
Yeah, but I'm at a point now where I don't. I thought battling was part of hip hop.
Wait, let me get to my point, because that's where I'm headed here, Mal. To Push, everything he said was in bounds. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the pecking order is also blurred in hip hop, because the streets govern hip hop. So if Jay Prince says, "Can it, homeboy," then guess what? It's canned, I would assume. Mm-hmm. I haven't spoken to anybody. I'm assuming here. And it has to be that way because who's invested? If you're hurting our investment, right, you're hurting our money. Mm-hmm. And if there is some street people involved, they're going to react the way that the streets have always governed those types of issues. Mm-hmm. I think that's it for my breakdown. I think I gave the people enough there. I just thought that some of those things needed clarity just because of some of the things I'm reading.
Yeah, but I mean, through this whole thing, I'm always going to go back to hip-hop. And battle rap is part of hip-hop culture. When you look at battle rap, URL, and those platforms, nothing is out of bounds.
It's a little different, though, I think.
But it's only different because it's not as much money involved.
True.
And that's where I think the problem comes in at. Because at some point, it's like hip hop is hip hop. Let's remove the money. Let's remove the fame, the celebrity. I feel like I'm better than you. You're better than me. Let's see who's better. You got an issue with me. I got an issue with you. We're not gonna take it to the streets. Let's take it to the booth.
You are referring back to the blurred line because J Prince, Puff Daddy, Master P, Baby and Slim, DNY. None of them make music. Well, none of them are true rappers.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. So those codes, what you talking about is rapper shit. That's where I come in. I come in on rapper shit. When it's time to rap, let's beef and let's rap. Once this elevates past rap, I have to hand this to my OGs because it's out of the rapper's hand. It's out of Drake's hands. I do believe that Drake has a track, and I do believe he said some shit that's out of character, and I do believe that he probably tore Kanye ass up. Because I believe that there's been tension there for years and years and years. And I do believe that Drake knows a lot of shit about Kanye.
Right. I agree.
I think that if he would have put that out, we've already seen how hard Push is hitting.
Right.
You want to take those body blows again?
It's good.
If you do take those body blows, it's out of rap. Because guess who has to jump in?
Yeah.
Your OGs.
It's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly.
Your OGs. So your OG should step in and say, sit down, young man.
But why?
So
but
does
why-
that just only apply when Drake is losing?
Yeah,
Because it wasn't that case with Meek because he
Right.
was clearly winning.
Well, you get to my next point, Rory. I've obsessed over this all week. What have we learned? This is what we've learned, even if it's not fair to Drake. Drake does not respond well to pressure. He's the bully, and he's a great bully.
No,
He's-
I don't think Drake is a bully.
He bullied Meek. He
But
It
when you
turned
say
out that way.
It turned out that
It's-
way, but
yeah.
but Drake doesn't sit around just throwing shots at other artists.
I think he was just prepared.
He's
I don't know if
reacting. He reacts.
It just came
Fam.
off that way because Meek was so
him,
quiet.
Him and his fucking genius bar squad are well prepared. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not the exception.
I think
that's
he came
the
out
rule. They're
looking like a
always
bully
well.
because of that.
No, he prepared to drop Charged Up, and then he prepared to drop something the next day. He prepared to send Charlemagne. He was preparing to humiliate that man. I have my own theories as to why. So when he is the dominant one, when you on the ground, it appears that he will kick your fucking head in. But when there's pressure, I think the Kendrick Control verse was pressure. That's my opinion. Because the only person spoken about in that class at that time was Drake. He didn't respond well to that verse.
He didn't.
The next time that I thought I saw him under pressure was me. Nobody would agree with that but me because I know our relationship. That's why he's so tough to beat. Because when you're that tough, big of a superstar, that magnitude, you could throw a million reasons as to why you're not responding to pressure. But it was pressure. So here we go again with Push. That was rapper pressure. All of the rap purists were saying, nigga, rap. Here we go with Push. This is pressure. I don't think he anticipated the pressure as big as it got. I don't think he thought Push was going to hit that hard, that fast.
No, hit that correctly. Because Push could bar, again, to your point, Push could bar him to death, and Push didn't do that.
But
he did the only way you could beat him.
Yeah, but listen, before I forget, in this instance, too, I think Drake and his genius bar squad sat down and had a plan, and they were well prepared. I think the plan was altered.
At what point?
Whenever the fuck Jay Prince felt like altering it.
Yeah, I think the difference is that between this and Meek and your situation is that it was way more personal. And for street dudes, like once you start involving family and shit, like
I think I'm agree. I think this was different because I think that it was it went personal, but I think that there was really no end in sight for this because I think that it was great to get very, very personal. Some things were going to be said, and you can't take those things back. My only issue is I'm always for the music, for hip hop. I mean, nobody stepped in for Meek. Like nobody felt like Meek.
Who backs you? And someone did step in for Meek. That break between Meek's reply, oh, niggas was on the phone. The people invested in Meek were on the phone.
Yeah,
behind the scenes.
I feel like but I get it. I understand that part. But it's just hard for me to accept that because I'm just such a fan of music. And I want to see rappers. If you got an issue, I think the best way to settle that is let's just rap. Let's just rap. I'm gonna go at you, you go at me, and then after that, it's like cool. We know how this ends. A year, 2 years later, we'll be on some festival stage together to announce that we squashed this problem, make a record. Like it doesn't have to go street. But I don't.
Yes, if one of these rapping niggas get on a track and say fuck your dead producer or whatever the fuck is going on, I'm gonna want to pull up. I am.
Yo, I'll be honest with you. I don't think it has nothing to do with that.
When Saigon, did I tell a story last week when Saigon premiered his diss track on Sirius Radio? Let me tell it because it's funny how life comes full circle. I was with Puff. I was with Puff because Royce was with Puff. I was only there with Royce. And maybe didn't say 2 words to Puff, but what up? And I was listening to Sirius Radio because Saigon was premiering a diss track. And he spoke about my son. And I called Sirius Radio. And I said, yo, put homeboy on the phone. And he said, what up? I said, I'm on the way. Stay there. 2 minutes off. Don't move. I was pulling up. Yeah, I felt I was a better rapper at the time. But it's just certain things that you say that you have to be held responsible for. And forget about me, because I ain't no street nigga. You say some shit, and now my OGs don't really feel like squashing nothing with you. Yeah. They're looking for you. You don't see all this wild shit that's happening in hip-hop? I seen 3 niggas in Chicago pull up and make the old white people stop playing Tekashi. Like, they did... The line between trolling and the streets and whatever is happening to seek attention, I think it's going to implode soon. It's
dangerous.
It's a dangerous game.
I don't personally think it had anything to do with Push saying the 40 shit. I don't think it was a personal level for Prince or whoever is backing Drake. I think they saw an opportunity where Drake's image is going to be tarnished. He had to put out a fucking statement in the middle of a battle rap about blackface. This is about money. This has nothing to do with personal. I'm pulling up. Right. Your entourage is mad at my entourage. It has nothing to do with that.
That's what we're saying, bro.
I thought you're saying that someone's going to have to pull up when you bring up 40 dying.
No, I'm just replying to
street dudes
contextually. But
can
if you
we
heard
talk
the
about
investment,
Dipset and who they're backed by? They were saying the most disrespectful shit in the fucking world. Like, I don't think it has to do with what was said in that diss at all. I think it had to do with Drake's image because he carries that safe rapper image. And now you're putting
he's the investment. He is the bag. You have
so
to
I don't think it has
bag.
nothing to do with what Push said. It just what the reaction was.
I think the bottom line here is that the fans were. I feel like, as a Drake fan, I feel like we were cheated of a great battle.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking. I'm always talking for music.
We got a great 1 round.
Yeah, but.
And let me just say, I don't think we've heard the end of this.
Yeah, no. Let me be clear. I don't want to hear no sneak disses. I don't want to hear no slick shots on no albums. If it's not going to be here right now battling, I don't want to hear nothing on nobody's album.
You're going to hear all that.
I don't want to hear that. Nah, because if it's going to be squashed right here in the middle of the battle, like while both fighters are in the ring, it's squashed. It's squashed. No slick shots. It's squashed because that's corny. That's all the way. If it's dead, if we burying it, it's buried now. Do not throw any slick shots on no projects. I don't want to hear that. I just want to get back to the regular music. That's it.
Yo, Mo,
if the beef is dead, it's dead.
You can't. You gotta take a shit or get off the toilet, man. You just said that we was be deprived of great battle.
Yeah, right here.
Saying,
this is the battle.
Oh, but
in the ring.
Oh, you want it. Oh, you want instant gratification. You want it right now or never.
Oh,
no. Maul
because you said that about Pacquiao and Mayweather
it's here.
too.
The battle is here.
I see what you're saying. If
it's like it's gonna go personal, we don't want this and that. Okay, cool, we got it. It's over. The battle stopped here. Didn't go any further. But don't start throwing slick shots on albums. Don't do that.
It's gonna happen.
Don't
I,
sub.
I,
Don't.
I think
That's
that's
corny.
I think that's happening. I think that's a
That's
given.
corny.
Yeah.
That's corny.
That might have been
That's
happening
corny.
before any of this even
Because
started.
that happens before the battle.
But Drake
The
is
shots happen. Okay, now it's on. Cool. Now we here. Then once the battle's over, it's
you
like,
don't.
that's it.
No, you don't dictate. You can't get to. Nah, that's not fair. Because Push album was out in stores, and this battle drove him to his biggest first week that he's ever had. And boy, I need the round of applause for him.
Is that true? As a solo artist.
As a solo
Okay,
artist,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
solo artist. 77,000 of which like 75% was pure sales.
That's awesome. Good for
That
him.
I've never seen no shit like that. Congrats to Push. So what I'm saying is, he was on rollout mode already. He had all the time in the world. You see him in interviews. Oh, he looks so casual. Oh, if something comes, I'm ready. I'm prepared.
Yeah, but
Like,
I have a
Drake
looking
is
at you,
is heading into album a little different.
Nothing is gonna hurt Drake's album sales. Nothing.
No, I don't think so either.
No battle.
I
If
agree.
he win or lose, it's nothing's gonna hurt Drake's album
I don't
sales.
think anybody was debating that.
Okay, so my thing is, if the battle's not happening, then that's it. Don't throw no more slick shots. It's like you go your way, I go mine. That's just how I feel. Because now you just playing with the fan bases, throwing slick shots. It's like, come on, man. Like y'all gonna go at it or not? But now
There
that
can't
albums
be
are out
subs.
and it's like it's over with, I don't want to hear no subs.
It's
no more.
gonna be subs. I'm pretty
Of
sure.
course it is.
That's corny.
Drake
That's
is the
just my
king of
stance. That's
subs.
corny.
Up there
What-
with Hove too.
What did you guys think of James Fauntleroy chiming in?
I think he
It was
owes us a
interesting.
Cocaine 80s album. That's what I think.
It was definitely interesting.
I didn't know that James Fauntleroy had so many issues with that good music camp.
Yeah, I didn't either. But now it all makes sense.
He sounds very angry.
Now I know why we haven't gotten any music.
Well, I think Fauntleroy probably does business a certain way, judging off his Timberland connections and Justin Timberlake and all that. He rolls with the world that I send you an invoice, I'm paid. He don't roll with the Kanye, fly me out to Wyoming, let me do 100 tracks for you, then I'm going to find out it was on the album.
Right.
He don't do that. So I think he's probably been holding this for quite some time.
I was so disgusted with all of that Wyoming shit. Let me just.
We're going
I
to get
know
to that.
we're
That's
all
that's
we're all over the
it's a
place.
separate.
Here. All right, man.
Let's stay focused.
All right, you go ahead because I'm mad now.
No, I'm done with my Fauntleroy shit.
No,
Go ahead.
somebody talk because I'm still mad.
No, but I thought that, Fauntleroy had some. I didn't know he was that funny. A lot of his responses to certain people.
Let me find it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his tweets.
He had a lot of funny little slick shit.
Well,
he was
what did
saying.
you think about him saying Pusha T is a snitch and then trying to tell other people that they don't know what a snitch is?
Yeah,
That was a bit contradictory.
I don't
to
know
me.
his
Yeah.
I don't know his pedigree though.
Yeah,
so
I don't. when
Battle
people-
rapping is snitching.
I mean,
Oh,
that
it's
what-
snitching on yourself and on the other person.
Right.
is that what he was? Is that why he was saying he was a snitch? I never understood the context in which he
Well,
was saying
we're
he's a
using the
snitch.
term snitch loosely in the rap.
Was he
not a
using it?
real snitch. Yeah,
I
he
don't
was
know.
saying Pusha T is a snitch, and I think he even put the cop emoji next to it.
But he was saying he gave no context, so I didn't really understand what he was.
He was a bit all over the place. with
Yeah,
it.
he was just.
Yeah, I didn't. When him using the snitch
All right,
thing
here
was
we
kinda
go.
like-
Let me-
I did not like the way. I was looking at a couple of interviews that Pusha was doing. I didn't like what it turned into.
So I agree with you, and I kind of thought to
It
myself,
felt like I was watching like Basketball Wives type of beef type of thing.
I
Like,
thought maybe he was just doing this because he was already on an album rollout.
But he was
'cause I didn't
already
particularly.
on all of that stuff was planned.
no, I get that, but I just didn't like how he was breaking down the battle rap, the record, and things that he was saying. It's kind of like, yo, the record is out. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know how I feel. If he responds, I'm ready. Let's talk about the album now. But he was breaking it down. Yeah, you running around with your father. It's like, so what if this man is running around with his father?
Yeah.
I still don't understand what the problem with that
I
is.
only
I
saw
stopped
him
watching
on-
the Pusha interviews because I felt the same way. I was like, dog, Push, you a rapper. You're
Yeah,
an amazing one. We heard everything we needed to hear.
Yes, it just got too much. It got gossip girly.
See, it must have been a specific interview because I saw like Flex and he did some Breakfast Club and he didn't really touch on it that much.
Drake
think this
hadn't
one
replied
was-
by Breakfast Club.
Oh right.
Yeah, so he had done, I think, Big Boy in
I
LA.
think, yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. I think.
He had done
I
a
see
couple where it was like, come on, fam. Like,
Yeah,
why are
it's
you
like
still...
I get it, but it just felt like
Oh, Parks, you're talking about when he called in the Breakfast Club. That was the next morning. He had done the interview about the album, and then Drake replied. He put out the his diss and called the next morning, which he was fine with that. I wasn't even really too mad at that. It was the following interviews where I was like, all right, you're doing a little too much with this
it's-
He
diss.
became
started
too
Rap
much.
Genie sing his.
yeah. And I
Drake
was
just
just like,
stand for do right and kill everything.
You okay?
that's how you felt.
And Drake just stand for do right and kill everything.
Some things.
You got to edit that one.
He's Drax. Do right and kill sometimes.
Drax. That's pretty funny, Rory. Drax. Do right and kill sometimes.
Drax. Yo, Drake will snuff you.
I believe it.
6 God watching, man.
Listen, I'm a fan.
He up on that tower.
Do right and kill some things.
He's up on that tower.
Up with Daredevil in the gargoyle pose.
What y'all think he said about Kanye in the diss track? Come on, let's speculate.
He
man.
probably got a lot of dirt.
Well, the timeline was saying that he fucked Kim. But
You need more than that, buddy.
that's why I was like, I don't know if that's gonna do it.
That's not making me switch sides.
Yeah, it's just, but it even still, see, it's like, we need that.
We do not need
that
Drake
record.
to fuck
But I
Kim
think-
Kardashian.
No, not that.
I'm about to say.
No, not
Come
that.
on, man.
That's a wild.
That's not what he meant.
I
We
do
don't
not need that.
No, I don't need that. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, we
Yo,
need
the streets
that.
was waiting.
No, we need that record is what I'm saying. Like, we need that record, man.
I think he must have he must have said some shit that sparked some shit in Jay Prince that made him say, "Nah, don't put that out."
I get it, man, but it's music, man. This is hip hop.
Yeah, but now when
This is hip-hop.
like when Joe said, when it becomes not music, then it's not music.
Yeah,
And Jay Prince lived through the Tupac and fucking Death Row
Listen,
beef.
this is what I don't understand.
I'm a Jay Prince investment.
Jay Prince was in every one of those interviews, and maybe because my family's from the South, my granddad owned a pig pen. That language was very specific that he was
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't. He didn't leave much room for you to interpret.
Right.
Like,
No, what he said was very logical for Drake, but we're putting our hip hop
No.
hats on and saying,
No,
you entered the battle.
No, no.
You came at him.
I'm talking about the other stuff he
What
said.
came back
I'm,
at him,
I'm-
rather?
I'm talking about when he said, I called Drake and said, "Nah, you chill. We don't move like that. That's for the hogs and the pigs, and I know how to deal with the hogs and the pigs." I saw him say it on The Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him say it on Deezus and Mero. I saw him say it on Sway. He sang it. When men of that ilk say things consistently, it's true. Also, and let me just close on this. Another real important point I thought about. Boy, it's important to know what your name says about you. Really, really important. Like, with all of this clout chasing stuff going on, I was like, I've never saw clout chasing Jay Prince in the same sentence. I said, that must be pretty dope, where you just, your credit score on your name is pretty high. If you know Jay Prince, you don't think that he's clout chasing at all, you don't think he's lying.
He's not.
I don't think that stuff. Sidebar. I had a conversation yesterday with a rapper that shall remain nameless that cursed me the entire fuck out for about, I want to say 37 minutes straight.
That's a long curse out.
And that person will continue to remain nameless because when I told that person I was going to tell you guys what happened, they accused me of clout chasing.
We're clout.
He must be mistaken.
I'm like, you clearly have never met Parks and Mal and Rory. We're not clout. But it just made me throw up in my mouth to get accused of that. It's like, would you
That's the
shut
new
the
thing.
fuck
I hate
up?
that term.
I hate hip hop.
I thought we were going to ban it from this podcast,
Yeah,
but
jeez, I don't know how it keeps getting
it makes
here.
my skin crawl.
Yeah, it's nasty.